we've been here at this location, 1833 Plantside Drive, for almost 3 months now. Before that, we were still in J-Town, just off Ruck Regal. We officially opened January 1st, 2012. I had no money. I'd been doing CrossFit myself and training my friends for a little over a year and a half, and off a whim, my friend told me, he said, you should open your own gym. It just kind of got in my head, and I couldn't get rid of it. And so we saved as much money as we could, but literally none. We almost had zero money. I had to do line of credit on our condo. I took out 3 credit card loans, and then bootstrapped as much as I possibly could. So we started out very small, very limited, and moved into my in-laws' house. We put our condo for rent and lived off the money that we made from that. My in-laws allowed us to live in their house for rent-free, and they paid for our food. So our expenses were fairly low when we first opened, and that gave us some cushion as far as time for original growth. But it was very difficult at first. We started out, like I said, with no money and almost no members. I had a few personal training clients. My wife had a few personal training clients that she was training, who it was going to be more affordable for them to join the gym than it was to continue to train with us one-on-one. And so they were happy to, to join the gym and become part of the founding of this gym that has now become, very good, very beneficial to a lot of people, including ourselves. Before we opened this, my wife and I were both missionaries. I love people. I really do. I just love people a lot. I love seeing them grow. With missionary stuff, it was a spiritual transformation that I was seeing, and it's difficult to go from, investing my life in the eternal aspect of it to what's, by all accounts, is very temporary, in the sense that I'm transforming somebody's lifetime life, right? I can get a chance to invest in their physical self. But what I've realized from that is that there's a beautiful kind of blending of my missions mindset with helping people in a physical sense, and so I get a chance to do a little bit of both. I've always loved fitness. I was an athlete growing up. Training was always part of who I was and how I did life, and so it was something I was already kind of skilled in. It gave me free access to people all the time. Like I said, I just really enjoy people. I love helping people. I love getting to know people and understanding what it is that makes them tick, why they do what they do, and with the spirituality aspect to it. I never push that on anybody. I've never been one to beat somebody over the head with the Bible, but my aim has always been to genuinely care about people, and when they become aware of the fact that that's the driving factor in my life, sometimes it drives them to curiosity about what it is that makes me tick, which then opens up conversations that, it's fun because I don't have to start them. I just kind of am part of them. We were officially profitable. I'm still paying on loans and things like that, but we were officially making more money than we were spending at the end of May of our first year. So it was a little over 5 months. Some personal challenges that we've had to deal with are things that I never had run a business before. It was as simple as get more people to come to my gym. That was as much as I understood. If I can get more people to come to my gym, then I can have more membership fees to use for revenues. And so for me, the most difficult thing was just learning what a business was, learning how to run a business, learning how to make sense of my books, learning how to do marketing, while also being the only real employee here. For five full months, I taught every single class, which we had 6 a day at the beginning. I was up at 5 every day, and I didn't get home until 9 every night, including Saturdays, and it was just exhausting. But they say that's the way it is when you start your own little business. And so part of the transition for me has been being willing to trust this baby that I've been caring for the past 3 years with other people, other coaches, business managers, people that I can trust with, with tasks that I was being forced to do by myself from the beginning. And so if I was to fail, it was going to be my fault. Didn't have somebody else to blame. I had to hire a couple of mentors, 2 in particular that have been incredibly helpful to me. One is just a very close friend of mine who decided he wanted to help me, and then the other, he's a CrossFit gym specific mentor, and so he's able to coach me just like I can coach our athletes on how to do a proper clean and jerk. He can coach me on how to properly run my company. The great thing about his system is that I was given tools to help me create the gym that I want rather than a carbon copy of his gym. Helped orient me towards taking what I wanted to do and making it beneficial, not just for my clients, but also for the company itself, being a profitable company. Yeah, well, the first thing we had to do was we had to incorporate and become an actual LLC, do all those paperwork things, and I went through a friend of mine who's a lawyer downtown. He helped me to kind of get all of the legal documents set up for us. He helped me to get our business up and running as far as like making sure that everything's set up legally. After that, it was deciding what to do with where we're going to be, like what is our location going to be. At the time, there were only 3 CrossFit gyms in the city. Now there's almost 30, and so location was fairly broad and open. And so at this point right now, there's 3 CrossFit gyms within the throw of a football from where we're at. But at that point, it was like, all right, so there's one over here on this side of town, there's another over here on this side of town, there's one more way over here on this side of town. I'll just pick the other side of town. How we were going to pay for things, how much equipment we were actually going to buy originally, whether we were going to pay in cash for that or use cash flow to, basically lease the equipment and use our cash flow over the course of the months to pay it, even though that was going to make it a higher price overall when it's all said and done. What started out as just purely CrossFit. When we opened, we had CrossFit classes that we would run every day. Monday through Saturday, we had CrossFit classes. And that was enough at first, and that's our primary product still to this day. But we have, over the course of the past 3 years, we've slowly built additional services that we offer, right? We have personal training now, which is different from CrossFit. It's more focused on exactly what the one-on-one, what that client exactly wants. My wife created a class specifically focused on women postpartum. Right after they've had their baby, they've got a couple months before they're free to work out again. But once they're cleared by their physician to go ahead and start getting back in shape, there are some things that a lot of people have no idea to work around and no idea how to teach, and she's excellent with that. We've created a barbell club, where weightlifting specific product that some of our clients, they don't care to do any cardio whatsoever. They just want to get strong and lift weights, and we've got a product specifically for that. We've got a product specifically for our kids. We've got anywhere from 3 years old all the way up to 14 coaches given specific time and specific attention to developing them, which is different from how you would develop an adult. And all these things, and there's 5 or 6 more that we've kind of got coming down the chute right now of things that we're creating and trying to develop that are unique and different from the CrossFit specific stuff, and it appeals to a different kind of member, a different kind of client. And it's, for our gym, it's given us the privilege of having separate revenue streams, to where my CrossFit membership is only a portion of our regular monthly income, and the rest of it comes from these extra classes. The benefit to us as a business is, one, it gives me an opportunity to pay my coaches quite a bit more money than I could if they were just coaching CrossFit classes, right? The membership revenues only cover so much of our overhead. They only cover so much of our additional costs, things like that of doing business. But it's called value added. The concept within business that I've learned is called value added. So they bring in $1, they get to keep most of that dollar, but the business benefits by having some of the dollar that they've brought in that comes in as revenues. if I could speak to myself 3 years ago or 4 years ago at this point now, say it's okay, it's worth the investment of the extra money to have a mentor, to have a business coach who's there to help. I've started to mentor other gym owners, and I don't take any money for that off the front. I usually just help them for the sake of their own personal development. What I like to get in return is a small share of ownership in their company. Ultimately, with the gyms that I'm mentoring right now, like, their success is up to them. Their decisions are theirs. Their product is theirs. It's completely and utterly theirs. Second is to get myself out of the day-to-day operations earlier. I was, like I said earlier, I was teaching every class while also trying to manage the entire business by myself, and that became more than I was capable of. I think I went through a series of maybe small depressions because all of the attention that I had in my day was given towards pouring out and giving to other people, and never having any chance to reload myself. Those are probably the two main things. So, have a mentor first, and then also start working on creating a staff for myself right off the bat, and like taking some of the more exhausting, lower level tasks off of my plate as the owner, and giving myself the privilege and the opportunity to really actually focus on growing the business, to get experience before you start. I didn't have that opportunity, or I didn't take that opportunity, maybe better put. See if you can make yourself an intern with another gym somewhere, get kind of at least an awareness of what issues they deal with on a daily basis. I think had I known, maybe my decision would have been different, how hard it was going to be. And so for a lot of people who are thinking about opening a gym, they're probably like me. They're a really good trainer, a really good coach, but have no clue about running a business. It might be better for them to create an opportunity for themselves within another already existing CrossFit gym or already existing business, and they can make plenty of money and do the thing that they're excellent at and do the thing that they love. I had to develop a love for business because had I not, I would just be a technician working in my business and never actually getting a chance to develop the business itself. I've gotten to the place now where I actually like the business side of things. It's a hobby now. It's a fun thing for me to study and read about and listen to podcasts and different things so I can learn. But before, that was not one thing. I was interested in teaching people how to squat better and learning how to make people faster and stronger and fitter. I'm still interested in those things. I love fitness, and I don't think that I'll ever stop loving fitness. But when it comes down to it, my responsibility to my members is making sure that I can keep the doors open, keep the lights turned on, and keeping the bills paid, because if I can't do that, then they don't have a gym to come work out at.